Hi, in this video I'm gonna make um, the private chat version where the users will be able to talk to each other in private. So we're gonna have these two buttons here. I'm calling this the big chat, is the chat from the other video. And now we have this button here, users, that shows a text box and a button. Here we're gonna search for the other username and click here, and then it's gonna search for the user profile picture and his name. So when we found the user, we can click on this button here, and we go to the private chat. I already made some messages, so here you can see the message that I sent, and here is the message that I received, and here is the name of the other user. So you can send a message here, hello. It's gonna appear here on the message that you sent, and the other user is gonna receive here the hello message. So back on the Thunkable, you're gonna need a vertical horizontal arrangement. You're gonna set one button on the left with the height of 44 and the width as fill parent. The other button is gonna be height of 48 and width as fill parent. We're gonna have to make two vertical arrangements. The first one I called big chat, and here I put the big chat option, so it's the old chat from the other video, and it's visible when we first enter the screen. The other one is users, so I'm gonna turn this invisible and put this visible. Here we're gonna have another vertical arrangement with a text box, a button, and a list view. So this one here starts as invisible and the big chat as visible. So now in the blocks part, we're gonna get the button big chat click and the button users click. In the button chat, we're gonna set the height for 44. So the height when we click on this button is 44. The button users, that's the second one on the right, is gonna have the height of 48. The users vertical arrangement, the user's vertical arrangement visible to false. and the big chat vertical arrangement as true. Here is the contrary, so the button big chat is gonna be 48, the button users 44, the users vertical arrangement now it's gonna be true because it's gonna be visible the second part, and here the big chat part is gonna be invisible. So when we click on this button here, we're gonna have the big chat, and when you click on the user, we're gonna have the user search vertical arrangement. Okay, next what we're gonna need is another Firebase database. I'm gonna call this database chat users. So we're gonna go to the edit profile, no, to the profile maker, and copy the Firebase URL, go to profile screen, and set the database URL and also the token. So we copy here, so we're gonna need this database to search for the users registered in the app. So we're gonna go and get the button on the vertical arrangement called button search. We're gonna have an if statement. We're gonna test if the text box search user is empty. So we're gonna get this block here. If it's empty, we're gonna send a message to the user. So type in a username to search. If it's not empty, we're gonna get the database chat users. We're gonna need the get value block. We're gonna set the tag as the text box search user. And also we are gonna get the tag list block. We're gonna get the tag list event, set a variable. This one is tag list. Sorry, this one is user list. We're gonna set this and get the value. So what is doing here, we're gonna get all the tag lists all the users registered in the app. We're gonna get this block here that's gonna get all the users registered and set in this variable here. So now we're gonna need the got value event. We're gonna test to see if the username that the user are searching actually exists in the app. So we're gonna have to use this block here. So the list of all users, we need to see if the username that the user wrote on the text box actually exists in this list. So if it exists, we're gonna set another blocks. If it doesn't exist, we need to send a message. Username invalid or not registered. We also gonna get hide keyboard here after we search for the user. So if the user actually exists in the list, we're gonna need more variables. We're gonna need a name and a image variable. We're gonna set the name look up in pair keys. This one here is from the profile maker screen, is this one here. So you're gonna need the username key and the image key. So we're gonna get the username and his image from the database. So back here on the profile picture screen, we're gonna set this as username. The pair is the value. We're gonna set the image lookup in pairing keys. Here is the key image. So we are saving on the name variable the username that we are searching, and on the image variable the link to the database of the image of this user. Next, what we're gonna do is set the list view element from string as the name, and we're gonna set the image user. This one is also on the second vertical arrangement. It's here on the second one. So we're gonna set the image picture to the image URL that we got from the database. We're gonna set the text box and actually I'm gonna rename this one here. This one here is where the image and the private talk button where the image and the button that's gonna appear after we search for the username, it's invisible. So we need to turn that to visible. So the image talk private button, we're gonna set this as true. We're gonna set the image user to visible. And now we're gonna need the button talking private. We're gonna go to the next screen when it's clicked. So I already made the private chat screen. We're gonna turn the image talk private button to invisible. We're gonna set the list view to nothing. We're gonna get the image user visibility to false, and also this one here to false. So when we click on the talk private button, we're gonna hide the vertical arrangement, the horizontal arrangement with the image and the talk private button. We're gonna set the list view where appears the name as nothing. We're gonna get the image user visibility of the user that we are searching to false. And then we're gonna go to the private chat screen. So we need to save on the time database. Two things. We're gonna need the username chat. I'm gonna call this as the tag as username chat, and this one here is the name of your user. And the second one is the friend name, and we get from here so we're gonna store the name of the person that we searched when we click on this button here. We're gonna save this name here in the friend chat tag, and your name, the name of the user that's using the application, under the tag username chat. So I'm gonna copy this. Now going to the private chat screen. When it's initialized, we're gonna need a time database. We're gonna get the value from the username chat tag and the friend chat tag. So we are getting the name of the friend and the name of the user. And we're gonna save on two variables, the name and the friend name. So the name we get from this one here, and the friend name we get from this one here. Now back on the designer part. I'm gonna put another horizontal arrangement, two vertical arrangements, and the last one is another horizontal arrangement. The first one, the last one, is to put the text box and send message button. We're gonna have the field parent width. I'm gonna put the align vertical to center. I'm gonna need a button and a text box. The hint is enter a message. And the button so this small button here is to send the message. So button send message. Text box is the message box. on this one here, we're gonna put as view parent and height as 48. We're gonna need a label, a button, and another label. This label here is just to make some space, so we don't need any text. This button is to return to the other screen. And this label here is the name of the friend. So friend name, this vertical arrangement here is the message received, and this one here is the message sent. The message sent, we're gonna set the horizontal align to right in the top, the width as view parent. So we're gonna need a label here, and this one here is the message sent. On the other arrangement, it's gonna be left, the width as view parent, and the label to receive the message from the other user. So this one here is message received. Now we're gonna need the Firebase component. We're gonna use the same one as the big chat, so we're gonna copy the token, and also the URL. We're gonna need a notifier. Now back on the blocks part, we're gonna set the label friend name to the friend name variable. We're gonna get now the button send message. First we're gonna make a if statement to see if it's empty. We're gonna hide the keyboard. So message box text if it's empty. We're gonna show message. Enter a message to send. If it's not empty, gonna hide the keyboard. We're gonna get the Firebase component. We're gonna store a value. The first tag, it's gonna be the name join the friend name. The value to store, the value to store is the message on the message box, and we're gonna get the message sent label and also save it on the database. The second store value, we're gonna store the friend name after the name, and here we're gonna save the message received text. We're gonna put the message box to nothing. Now when we send a message, the data is gonna change, so we're gonna need this block here. We're gonna need a if statement. So if the tag there is this one here, that means that the tag, the value stored under this tag is the message that we are sending. If is equal to the tag, we're gonna set the message sent label to value. If the tag is the contrary, the friend name first and the global name, this one here is the message that we're receiving. We're gonna set the message received label to get the value. So now when the message is right here and we send it, it's gonna appear here, and the other user is gonna receive the message. So now it's complete. I'm gonna install the application in my emulator and also in my cell phone, so that we can test the private chat. So back here in the emulator, I'm gonna enter as the user, as the name user, and on the phone I'm gonna enter as Superfly2. So let's enter here. We're gonna go to users, we're gonna search for Superfly2. We're gonna click on this button here. Now I'm gonna enter Superfly2. I'm gonna go to users. I'm gonna search for the user profile, and I'm gonna get this button here. So as the Superfly, I'm gonna send hello, and here the user received the hello message. Now as user, I'm gonna send hi, how are you? So here the Superfly2 received here the hi message, and here is the message that you sent. So back here we can also use a push notification if you want. Every time you will receive a message, so every time the message is received, we're gonna set the title as message from the text is gonna be the message received, and here it's gonna need a join. Message from friend name, so let's test the push notification. So back here we're gonna send a message testing the push notification. So here is the push notification. So actually what you will need here is the get value in the text part. In the title you're gonna need the message from and the name global friend name, the variable, and this part here is not necessary. The seconds you can set to anything you want. Okay, for this video is this. I hope you like it, and if you like it you can click on like and also subscribe to the channel. Bye.